welcome to, or back to, BarbieCoProductions. And today, I'm going to be customizing 4 Chelsea dolls. Starting with these 2 pool dolls that I found half price at the supermarket, of all places. Next up, this Barbie Chelsea boy. And lastly, this Chelsea doll that I found at the op shop, who seems to have been head swapped onto a vintage Kelly doll body. But that won't matter, considering all of them will get rebodied. Now, let's start customizing. First step is to get all these 3 out of their packaging. And all their heads off. Since Chelsea dolls just have a solid plastic neck peg, you can pull the head right off without having to worry about breaking them. Step 2. Acetone. If you have watched any of my previous customizing videos, you've probably heard what I usually say about it. But just in case you haven't, please be extremely careful when using acetone, as it is a chemical. And if you are under the age of 13, please ensure you have adult supervision.
I'm sure your dad still thinks you're great.
I found that a lot of the new Barbie fashionistas, and the Chelseas especially, seem to have this sealant over the face paint that makes it quite difficult to get off with the acetone.
Here again, you told me you just wanna be friends, so I act like I don't understand. Go ahead now, be the man. Let's pretend I don't know about your little plans. Look so cute and innocent, but you're as lost as Peter Pan.
So originally I thought this doll had painted on hair, but turns out it's actually sculpted. Luckily I am seeing a way to remove it. There we go! Next thing I'm going to do is take some wire cutters and cut the thicker edge off the hair, like this. Then I'm going to use my Dremel to remove the hair texture and basically make the hair sit as flat as possible. Now that I'm covered in little bits of plastic, we can glue the hair base back on. Let's move on to face painting. If you've watched any of my previous customizing videos, then you probably already know how I usually customize my dolls. Starting off with the eye color, then adding in some new pupils, as well as some matte Mod Podge to give the closed mouth look. This step is something I only started doing recently, roughly 6 months ago. Then lastly, using my X-Acto knife, I very carefully redo the eye shines. Then repeat for the others. It's a few hours later now, and all the paint is dry, so I can do the last face painting step, which is painting the lips. And now all that's left is the hair and the clothes. Now I'm gonna go boil some water to make the hair sit down. Much better. Now we just need some hair for this boy. If you'd like a more in-depth tutorial about how I usually add flocking to my dolls, I have this video which is also linked in the description. Originally I had planned to root the hair, but with this extra layer of plastic I'm worried it might break my needle. For the hair itself, I have this super curly hair I got on Etsy about a year ago. I start by getting a small dish or container, some of the hair and a pair of scissors. Then cut the hair up into little chunks. Add some glue to the head. And once you've stuck the hair on, you can either leave it that length or trim it back a bit, which is what I'm gonna do. Now that that's all cleaned up, I'm gonna set him aside to dry. And in the meantime, we can pick out outfits. Let's see what we've got to work with. Let me also just... Now that everyone's dressed, here are the final outfits. But that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider commenting and subscribing down below, as well as checking out my community tab where I post regular behind the scenes pictures and updates. Bye!
Yeah, I'm sure your dad's